Speaking of top 5 QBs, got to talk about Justin Herbert. We got to do it. Let's get into it a little bit. Talking to takes this year. And I will say this before you go. I want you to kind of give your take of the weekend and how that game went. I don't think that what you actually, I hate the word take. This is what I'm about to say, because I think sometimes it comes off as that's like a hateful thing, or I'm like trying to take a shot at somebody because I have a thought. And in reality, I think as players, and I think sometimes that's where it gets confused for us, is like as a player, there's things that I say, hey, I need to be better at these things if I want to take this next step in my career. Every single year, I'd be playing in a season and I'd be going, next offseason, here's the 4 or 5 things that I have to address this offseason to take that next step of who I want to be. And I really thought your take was more about that Justin Herbert has all kinds of crazy talent and abilities. He's dominating a certain window of what he does, but there's these other windows that the great quarterbacks are really good in that you just haven't seen him excel in yet.
Yeah.
And I'll let you go.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, it was just it's an interesting thing because essentially like he's not in the top 5 is what I said. And then all of a sudden it went to, well, that means you hate him. That means you think he's horrible. And it's like, no, it's confusing to me because historically what everybody has done in their first 5 seasons, he's at the top when we're talking about numbers, but he's not at the top when we're having that conversation of who's in the top 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Again, I root for Justin Herbert, and me and you talk about this all the time now. You almost start to not like him because of how awful the Chargers fans are. Like it's just the Twitter conversations and shots from Chargers fans. Like I tried.
Glad you said that. I bought something when I was in Colorado.
Oh boy, would you? Anytime we see a damn lightning bolt in a comment on Twitter, it's just insufferable. Everything about it. There's some things that he's going to have to do to get himself in that category, and he didn't do it. And I'm not going to pile on. I think the Chargers are headed in the right direction. I think culture-wise, they had a complete reset this year. I think they were the top defense in the NFL statistically in a lot of different things this year. Lad McConkey, the playoff game he just had was insane. He's got a guy. They need more guys.
Don't forget about Joe Alt.
They've got Joe Alt.
They drafted a weapon.
Yeah. I mean, Harbaugh called him a weapon. I get it.
A weapon. He's a great player. Listen, they got 2 great tackles. Obviously, they got to figure out long term there. That's those situations. But I also think that much less the talent they added, there's some moments this season where you could say in the past, whatever people call it, chargering or everything else, that they overcame those kind of moments. And they did the opposite of that. They finished the game. They found a way to win. They came up in big moments and won games they needed to win. And so I think to me, isn't it sitting here saying, hey, talking about, obviously Justin Herbert did not have the performance he wanted to have in the playoffs. That's a fact. That neither did the Chargers as a whole. Khalil Mack's talking about he's trying to decide whether he's going to retire or not. It sounds like those guys want him back really bad, and they're going to try. Derwin James is saying, I'm talking him into going one more. And he's saying, listen, Khalil Mack's been on some bad teams, and he's like, hey, if there's any team that I would come back to, it would be here because of how special this locker room and this group is. And I think Harbaugh has created that. So if I'm a Chargers fan, is it the performance we wanted? No. Do I think long-term they are in a great spot? Yes, I do think they're in a great spot. I think they're going to continue to add talent on offense and improve on defense. And I think that this team is going to be just like we said about the Broncos. I think this AFC West is only continuing to get better and better around the Chiefs. And so I'm excited if I'm a Chargers fan. I'm disappointed, but I didn't think this Chargers team was winning the Super Bowl anyways. And here's the reality you have to come down to. The season ends. Everybody's depressed except for one football team. Every single football team is sad. So you know what? You'll get over being sad. A lot of good moments happen for you this season. Let's get ready to move forward to next season and see how we take the next step.
Heading in the right direction.